tell me, as a women leader in AI, blockchain, emerging tech, what barriers have you faced, and how have you turned those barriers into opportunities?
Yes. So I am a senior executive fellow with the Digital Economist. I focus on that. 2 years ago, if you asked me or were interviewing me then, I knew nothing about blockchain. So I challenged myself for learning about new emerging techs. I'm always interested in learning about new opportunities. And so I've applied my own interests and knowledge into adapting those into new innovations. And I did that even with the genetics, the new smart wearable tech bra. And it's using Bluetooth and blockchain. And I just had that inspiration within me to learn more. And I continue to do that as I move forward with my career and trying to teach others that you don't have to be fearful of new technology. You need to embrace it and be able to, adapt it and, pivot from there and learn more and, use it if you can.
And on a personal note, what inspires you and motivates you every day to keep going?
Yes. Well, my children are always an inspiration. I have 2 children and I love them dearly. But, creation and innovation is really at my heart. I love being a creator. And 12 years ago, before I became an entrepreneur, I never would have dreamed that I would have been in this type of career. But now I think I found my home, and this is what I really enjoy most. So that inspires me, and I continue to, thrive on doing this.
You are really inspiring me now. Today on the Women Inspiring Win Voices podcast, I have with me Jean Criss. Of course, I have interacted with you several times.
Yes.
You are a media personality. I know you are into communication and you have your own company. So
Yes.
in your own words, please tell us a bit about your journey. Here we are in New York, so thank you so much. Please tell us a bit about your journey, because I'm in the similar field, so I want to hear from you.
Yes, thank you so much, and welcome to New York, Manhattan, and you couldn't have picked a better location to have this on the rooftop of Manhattan. Center. To you for doing
Thank
this.
you.
So thank you for having me. So a little bit about my journey. I started out in the corporate workplace for 25 years, and then I got breast cancer. And I, at the same time, started my own business, decided to, within 30 days, start my own media business, Jean Criss Media. And throughout my journey of breast cancer, I didn't like what I wore. And so as I was moving forward with my media business, multimedia, digital media, television, all of that, I said, you know what, someone needs to come out with a better bra, a more contemporary, fashion-forward bra. So simultaneously, while I had Jean Criss Media, I launched CRISSCROSS Intimates, a post-surgical intimate apparel brand that fashion-forward the industry. And so that's what I'm still doing today, both businesses. And just yesterday, I debuted a smart wearable tech bra.
Wow.
That is going to change the industry.
Wow, and
Yeah.
from surviving breast cancer to,
Yes.
doing this in the tech space, I'm really amazed, and thank you for sharing it with us.
Yes.
And so you hold more than 6 patents,
Yes.
and what is the process of invention, patience and innovation? Of course, now the one which you're talking about yesterday, what you launched, is that also patent?
Yes, it is. So my patents are all, 5 or 6 are related to the fashion product, and one is universal to the industry, mobile device industry. So the whole patent process really has taught me a lot about, taking your innovation, not only protecting your IP, the patent process, the trademark process, copyright law, but really learning how to protect while also creating product development, product design, going into the full product development process. And what's important is to manage that simultaneously while you're doing design and development and putting product into play. And so that whole process I did at the same time. And yes, my patents include my post-surgical brand of the intimate apparel. I have hospital gowns, I have medical scrubs, I have my new gaming products, which are also launching, called Pink Skins, my medical tech smart bra, which is genetics, and I have a mobile device called UNGA Mobile. So those 6 patented IP, utility patented, different types of patents for the different products are what I have focused on, and I've learned a lot along the way. So, you know, you really need to do things the right way with a patented product in order to go to market with your
Yeah, and how do you balance working across so many fields, media, tech, fashion, gaming, while keeping, you know, your focus on your main purpose?
Yeah.
So how do you balance so many different hats?
Yeah, I know. Everybody asks that. They're like, Jean, you're crazy. You're doing too many different things. What? This is what provides joy to my life. This is my passion. And I just didn't want to focus in a linear avenue. I wanted to spread my wings and do what I've done most of my career. Most of my career, I focused on customers in multiple fields and market segments. And I learned so much in all of these different markets. So my focus now is on tech, it's on media, it's on fashion and entrepreneurship. And I'm really blending all of that in what I'm doing in providing innovation and for a customer community. And I really look at them as different fields. I'm really providing that in a sustainable community that's providing a service to a global community. And you know, there's different solutions for different needs, and that's what I'm really focusing on.
Wow. And tell us, you are also a 5X author. Which of your books is closest to your heart and why?
Yes. So I initially launched a trilogy series. It was called My Pain Woke Me Up. It's a 3-part trilogy series. Those were my 3 books. Those were the closest to my heart. But since then, my 5th book is now the closest to my heart. It's called Hear Me Now. And it's more about women empowerment, sharing your voice, really encouraging other women to speak up, to find their voice, to share their passion. It's about being able to talk about whatever experience they've been through. I went through a lot of difficult times in my life, difficult challenges, whether it be through sexual assault, sexual harassment in the workplace, many different experiences, and I was able to document those and find the positivity through those. I end those, each chapter, the short stories in that book, I end each chapter with a form of positivity, such as, you know, be brave, be resilient, find your voice, be able to find your strength and move forward, and being able to provide others with voices of encouragement, which is how I've moved forward with my life and my career, because it was that positivity. I didn't want to dwell on what I've been through. I really wanted to be able to learn from it and be able to, you know, teach others how I was able to move forward. I just want to give one example. Even when I was widowed at 28 years old, and a lot of people don't know that, and they were like, how were you able to move forward and have a career? And, you know, I didn't focus on the negativity. I really focused on, you know what, it was a tragic situation, and I was able to put myself in a situation where I put a lot of effort into my career, and I moved up in my industry to, you know, accelerate, and I want to encourage other widows. So when I moved to New York, it was 3 weeks before 9/11, and so I gathered a group of women from 9/11 and actually mentored them on how to move forward with their careers and their families, because I had been through that.
Thank you for sharing that. And tell me, as a women leader in AI, blockchain, emerging tech, what barriers have you faced, and you know, how have you turned those barriers into opportunities?
Yes. So I am a senior executive fellow with the Digital Economist. I focus on that. You know, 2 years ago, if you asked me or were interviewing me then, I knew nothing about blockchain. So I challenged myself for learning about new emerging techs. I'm always interested in learning about new opportunities. And so I've applied my own interests and knowledge into adapting those into new innovations. And I did that even with the genetics, the new smart wearable tech bra. And it's using Bluetooth and blockchain. And I've just had that inspiration within me to learn more, and I continue to do that as I move forward with my career and trying to teach others that you don't have to be fearful of new technology. You need to embrace it and be able to, you know, adapt it and, you know, pivot from there and learn more and, you know, use it if you can.
And on a personal note, what inspires you and motivates you every day to keep going?
Yes. Well, my children are always an inspiration. I have 2 children and I love them dearly. But, you know, creation and innovation is really at my heart. I love being a creator. And 12 years ago, before I became an entrepreneur, I never would have dreamed that I would have been in this type of career. But now I think I found my home, and this is what I really enjoy most. So that inspires me, and I continue to, you know, thrive on doing this.
You are really inspiring me now. And on that note, we're going to end our session.
Okay.
But do inspire our viewers with an inspirational message, because as you know, the Win Voices podcast is in Davos, India, Cannes, and now New York. So
Yes.
just inspire our women globally. You've done so many things.
Yeah.
You faced so many challenges. You've donned so many hats. So I really want you to leave our viewers with an inspirational message.
Okay, I will, Studi. So that message would be to, if you have an idea, if you have a thought, a dream, don't just think about it. Process it and actually see it through. And what I mean by that is actually taking that idea and bringing it through the whole process, taking that idea and creating that product, promotion, service. You can do it. You can make it happen. If you can't do it yourself, bring in the resources, bring in the partners, the people that can help you make that happen, because it's not that difficult. I knew nothing about a lot of the things that I'm involved in today, but I figured out the fashion industry. I figured out the tech industry to create a mobile device. I figured out how to become an entrepreneur and enter into many different categories that I never thought I'd be in today. And in fact, my vice president of sales in cable industry said, "You had this planned all along?" And I said, "No, I didn't." You know, so just do what inspires you, and that's what I've been doing, and other people can do that too.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inspiring us, and it was lovely to have you on the Win Voices
I'm so glad
podcast.
to see you again.
Yeah, and I
I'm
know.
gonna see you in Davos next year.
Yes, and I'm so glad we were able to do this today. Thank
I'm
you.
so glad too. Thank
Thank
you
you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.